Hi, this is Alexander Clifford, here to recommend a novel, Vladimir Nabokov's Pale Fire. Nabokov is most famous for writing Lolita. That book was narrated by Humbert Humbert, a pathological, self-justifying rapist. Incredibly, in Pale Fire, Nabokov makes his lead character even more extreme. It's the clash of this incredibly jarring character against the beauty of Nabokov's writing that makes Pale Fire so captivating. Pale Fire doesn't look like a novel at all. It's written as a long poem plus commentary. Unfortunately, the poem has been stolen from its original author, John Shade, or rather from John Shade's widow. And the commentary is not a serious attempt to read and explain the poem itself. Instead, our narrator, Charles Kinbote, uses the commentary as a vehicle to tell his own fantastical tale. Kinbote fancies himself the deposed king of a mysterious land called Zembla, and he tells his own story of his childhood, friendships, and finally, heroic escape when the revolution comes. But this self-mythologizing bluster is linked, line by line, to Shade's sad and touchingly realistic poem about the death of his daughter, Hazel. As you progress through the novel, Kinbote becomes a more exciting figure, but also more callous and morally bankrupt, as he dismisses the personal tragedy of Shade's life in favour of his wild fantasies. One of the pleasures of Pale Fire is as a mystery. Who exactly is Kinbote? Is he real or made up? Is the whole thing an invention of John Shade? Or is he the alter ego of another character, the hidden Botkin? There are plenty of clues to feed your sleuthing. Just to mention one, why is Shade's wife named Sybil after the seers of ancient Rome? What is she supposed to have foreseen? Whole books have been written trying to unpick these threads. I'll give links to some of the interpretations below this video. Another pleasure is reading the poem as a work in itself. Nabokov loved to celebrate the beauty in the ordinary, and Shade's poem is packed with examples. Here is a moment where Shade explicitly rejects eternal life in favour of the ephemeral. And I'll turn down eternity unless the melancholy and tenderness of mortal life, the passion and the pain, the claret tail light of that dwindling plain off Hesperus, your gesture of dismay on running out of cigarettes, the way you smile at dogs, the trail of silver slime snails leave on flagstones, this good ink, this rhyme, this index card, this slender rubber band which always forms when dropped an ampersand, are found in heaven by the newly dead. Kinbote completely ignores these beautiful lines in his commentary. He twists the account of Hazel's death into his own musings on suicide. And yet, in some strange way, he shares the poet's obsession with beautiful detail. Kinbote's plaintive desire for the technicolor Zemblan saga and his tremulous fear of death at the hands of an assassin evocatively named Grey are in many ways a twisted parallel to Shade's quiet pleasure in the beauty of small things. And in an age of Hollywood superhero blockbusters, aren't we all a little bit guilty of the same escapist desire for grand spectacle? Kinbote repels us, but ultimately I'm not sure that we can completely repel him. Pale Fire is not a simple book, but it will beguile you. I recommend it for readers with an interest in expanding their literary range. Devote a little time to it to reap its rewards.